So July 5th, you'll be making your UFC debut with Kevin Casey. How do you feel about this? Are you nervous, excited? Like, how are you feeling?
Oh, I mean, of course we're excited, and always a little nervous. It's fighting, but I'm excited about this fight. I think it's a good fight for me. I think our styles are very similar, and it's just gonna be a battle.
Do you feel you have an advantage over him at all? Like, are there any holes that you see in his game?
Um, it's just the well-known ones. I think I have an advantage in the wrestling department, and I think he has an advantage in the jiu-jitsu department. He's a little better than I am there, and I'm a better wrestler. So we're gonna see how that plays out.
So it sounds like it's going to be a pretty back and forth fight then.
Well, hopefully not. The thing about grapplers is you either end up, if one person gets on top early, the momentum swings heavily in their direction. You got two top, front runner fighters like us, so we used to be on top. Otherwise, you got two good grapplers, and you stand your feet and you sort it out. So,
Okay. So on June 13th, you defended your title against a previously undefeated Alfonso Gonzalez. Was his perfect record a concern for you at all going into the fight?
I mean, it's all about who you fought, I guess, for the most part. The last time I fought undefeated guy was Andrew Craig, so I was a little, nervous about. You haven't seen how they lose except for his amateur fights. If you haven't seen someone beat them, then you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know if they just never been pushed and they're twice as good as they look. And if you never had a try, so it's always a concern, but it was, it's not a huge one at the end of the day.
Yeah, he still won in the first round.
But
So how did it feel when you first became a champion in your division?
that was great. I mean, that's a dream come true. It's something I've been chasing for a long time. Like I said, I fought Andrew Craig for the last time back in 12, I think, 2012. So I mean, it's been a couple of years working my way back up to title fight contention, and it was disappointing back then to lose in the last 13 seconds of the fifth round. So to get back in there and get what I thought I definitely deserved, or definitely where I should be, felt great.
So what about you, your training, or something else would you say has made you so successful in your career so far?
My faith in Jesus Christ. I attribute everything to the plan of God, the perfect will of God. So my calm, my trust, my faith gives me the ability to do what I do and not to get excited or intimidated, get caught up in all the hoopla that surrounds the sport. So I think that's great at just centering me and helping me out, focusing on my workouts. And verse I quote all the time is Proverbs 21:31. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory is with the Lord. For me, that means we don't relinquish our accountability. We still have to train. We still have to prepare ourselves. Not just sitting there and going, hey, the big man in the clouds will take care of it. We have to train like no other. We have a responsibility to do that.
Yeah.
And then God, you ultimately rest in God's hands.
So do you go into fights a lot more confidently because of your faith? Like, are you like more sure that you're going to win?
No, I'm not more sure that I'm going to win at all. I'm just more comfortable with the fact that it's not all about winning. That I've prepared myself, and the battle is the Lord's. So it's not about, it's not all about winning. If I lose, I think that's intended. And if I win, I think it's intended. So my whole job is to go out there like I can't be beaten, and just give it my all, and then where it goes, it goes.
Okay. So out of everyone you fought, who would you say has been your most challenging fight so far?
My loss, my one loss, Andrew Craig.
And why was he more difficult than the rest of your opponents?
Well, partially because I had a broken foot, and that gives you a lot of problems.
You had a broken foot going into the fight?
Yeah, I broke my foot about 3.5 weeks out, I think, in the fight.
And you still went with it anyway?
Yeah, I thought it was just sprained. I went to the doctors a week before the fight to get a cortisone shot or something, and they said we can't give you a cortisone shot because it's broken.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so my training was a little, a little impeded there.
Yeah.
I had to take a couple. Yeah, you don't realize how much you use your feet. So that made it hard to do things like hold mounts and get rear control. I couldn't stick hooks in. Obviously, my mobility was limited and those sorts of things. So that made it tough. But then the other reasons are he's a really good fighter that I was very
Do you think you would have won the fight if you didn't go into it with an injury?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth speculating.
Okay. So if you could go back to any fight, which would it be, and how would you do it differently?
So it would be and how I did it differently.
Yeah.
I would choke that Seamus Young out. Yeah, I would sink the rear naked so that he couldn't uh, get the DQ win.
So, if you weren't an MMA fighter, what do you think you would be doing with your life instead?
Man, I mean, I'd love to be in the military, but for diabetes, I just think I was born to do something like that, just to serve. Otherwise, finance is my degree, so something in the financial world.
Okay.
Auditing. I'd like to audit people.
Okay. So you've become a champion in your division of the LFC, coach at BVMMA, 2010 Naga champion, 2011 Brazos Throwdown grappling champion, and now you've made it to the UFC. What would you say has been your biggest achievement so far?
Getting engaged to Chloe Turner.
Getting engaged?
Yeah, getting engaged to Chloe Turner. My biggest accomplishment so far.
Okay.
Getting married in August.
Oh, really? Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You know, close second to that is going to be getting in the UFC. That's a big goal.
Okay. So what do you want to be remembered for at the end of your career?
Humility.
Humility?
Yeah, humility. Selflessness. I'd like to be someone who coached more than I was praised. You know, someone that gave back and taught other people and passed on the sport. You know, I would be more proud to coach a fighter up into the UFC than to have made it myself.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is that? I imagine most people would want to do it themselves.
Because I guess it's the example of Jesus Christ. It's the self-sacrifice. It's the greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Well, I guess you can lay down your life in a lot of ways, and there's been coaches in my life like David McClung, my coach, I've watched him for the last 7 years just lay down his life for his students. You know, get nothing out of it. You know, comes out every day, goes home poor. Doesn't get praised in the media, but he cares and loves his students and pours into other people's lives and enriches them, makes them better, and that's it is very fulfilling. But yeah, that's just a greater thing. It's a greater goal than personal accomplishment and personal fame and those sorts of things.
Yeah, I agree. That's very noble. So after you're done with the UFC, do you think you're going to be a coach yourself then?
Yeah, I mean, I already am. I have the gym and I coach a couple amateur and pro fighters along with David. So yeah, I've already started down that route. I coach a jiu-jitsu team. We've got a lot of successful competitors in the jiu-jitsu arena right now, but I think I would like to concentrate more on it after I'm done. But I'm just starting, so that is down the road.
So is there anything that you'd want to say to your fans that would be listening to this interview?
Gig 'em. Texas Aggies.
Oh.
Thanks, gig 'em. Yeah.
All right, so that'll be all. Thank you very much for your time.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Have a nice day.
Have a good day. Bye.
See ya.